All right, everybody, welcome back to another session of Rise of the Ordning, a Storm King's Thunder retelling. I'm your Dungeon Master, Zari, and I am joined by a bunch of amazing friends. First of all, we have Kenny.
Hi, it's me, your girl, Komori, Path of the Beast, Simic Hybrid Barbarian.
Yup, and then we also have Cece.
Hi there, playing Tazira, the human stars druid / divination wizard.
Beautiful, and then we have Sly.
Hello, hello. I'm playing Ravasi, the High Elf Warlock Bard.
Beautiful, and then last but not least, Shorty.
I am Nyx, the Hexblade Warlock.
Lovely. Just a little brief reminder that this session will be going up Saturday at 10 a.m. On the Muses Mythos YouTube channel. And if you're watching us on the Muses Mythos YouTube channel Saturday at 10 a.m., if you want to see the next session live, we stream Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Central at Zari the Muses Twitch channel. So, check those out respectively. If you want to know more about the world or what Ilumelan has to offer, you can always go over to my website, which is just musesmythos.com. And that's that. So we are going to jump on into things of chapter 6, session 6 here. Last we left off, you had entered the Kryptgarden at the behest of Clogilia Mater, a green dragon in the Rosewick Forest, who needed you to unclog the magic and free up the ley line, so she could have access to more magical energy and thus see more information for you. You investigated the wall of vines protecting the entrance and the body that they cradled, and after a failed attack and smash through, decided to perform for it to convey similar emotions. The power of music convinced the magical plant that you weren't there to harm its charge, and you were allowed to pass. Odd geometric architecture informed you that this place was from a different plane. You entered an odd campsite covered in bones and were trapped by the Heartroot and left to die from waves of plant-animated skeletons. Standing your ground, Tazira managed to find the first of the glowing nodes before the group realized it was a timed puzzle. Find all 3 before time runs out. With your success, you rested a bit before having a very charged conversation about souls, and some friction of working together for the first time. Continuing on, you entered an odd greenhouse, cracked open to rock above, that featured 2 statues. The energy was very dark in here, draining you as you investigated and saw snippets of the past. You put together that these were 2 members of the group who were paralyzed and perished. Taking the more passive route, Tazira prayed to Lady Simona, asking her to help the souls find justice and judgment and be at peace. And were gifted an amulet of... I'm blanking on the god's name at the moment. Katsua. The amulet of Katsua, who the druid's body that you found, she seemed to have worshipped. Passing through, the group continues down a short hallway. Pushing back a veil of vines, the crypt opened up into a cavernous hollow surrounding a small pond. Sickly green light pulses from the fungal growth in the walls, and towering trees rise from the cracked marble and the roots that strangle a small graveyard. The air is thick with the scent of rot and blooming flowers, sweet and cloying and wrong. Something ripples beneath the pond covered in lily pads and moss. Vines twitch along the walls, some bearing blossoms and others cradling skeletons. At the heart of the corrupted oasis, underneath a huge dead weeping willow, a twisted throne has been grown from root and bone, crowned in fungus, pulsing like something's alive. Seated there, almost fused to the wood like a parasite in its corrupted version of the cleric, a crown of fungus fused to her head. Part bone, part human, part plant matter. Her eyes opened, glowing with the same green energy you've seen before. Wrong. As black tears fall from her eyes as she looks at you. You cannot take her. And with that, we are going to drop on a map and roll some initiatives. Right away. Okay, let me get you guys to a map here. And get my good old friends to a map here as well. Wait, why are you freaking out? And then here, let me get the initiative tracker up so that you guys can get rolling. Okay.
Please.
Also, I'm sorry, folks, if you hear the child upset. She is being put to bed, and she is taking it personally.
She just wants more beholders.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
She wasn't satiated.
She
Please
wasn't
don't.
satiated by the beholder offerings.
Ooh, I roll.
Don't you love having a high-rolling initiative character? Isn't it fun?
It is.
I can't relate in the slightest.
I think my best one I ever had was a plus 11.
Ooh.
I mean, it doesn't matter. We all go before her.
You do. You do all go before her. Except, although I do want to just do my good old trick of, sorry, they changed everything on me.
Again?
Yeah. Okay. Fun fact for DMs, if you always forget layer actions like me, just add a second token of your boss at initiative count 20. That's a free fact. Because I forget layer actions all the time.
Is it just a free fact or a rock fact?
That's a rock fact.
Fair and valid.
I will not elaborate. Okay. At the top of the initiative, Ravasi, you see that she is charging towards you, just like gaping wounds in her body. You can see through half of it. This picture isn't quite right, but I'm not an artist. And you can kind of like see through half of it, and the other half looks like this adventurer cleric. What would you like to do?
Well, first of all, I'd like to scooch off to the side. It looks like there's like dark spaces here. Are those like pits?
No, so there are no pits. The only thing in this area, that's kind of like gross fog. The only thing in this area is water. This is kind of half water right here in the center.
Okay. I'm keeping my distance and also trying to like kind of stay away from the rest of the group because usually clerics often have AoE. No, thank you.
The other thing that was described, I'm just going to remind you, is that all of the vines that you see are kind of moving, and there are skeletons wrapped up in them. So just keep that in mind.
Cool. We're gonna Eldritch Blast.
Okay, go for it.
First one for a 20. Oh, another almost nat 20.
Dang.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
First one, and then a second one. An 18
An
hit.
18 does hit.
Ooh, for a total of 23 damage. Just two very quick, just pow-pow!
Yes, as they sink one into the side of her shoulder and the other into the part of the ribs that are still together.
There we go. Very gross. Good job. I hate it. And then I'm gonna shoot a bardic inspiration at Komori. You can do it, Komori. This thing's grosser than you. Take it down.
I love the fact that Ravasi's like, that's encouraging.
Hey, it's a is it a competition? Is it like a, hey, look, this thing's worse. You're fine.
I am just gonna glare over at you.
Well, you feel inspired for some forsaken reason.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn, DM.
At the end of your turn, you watch as this creature raises its hand and just holds it out, and you watch as some of the green kind of noxious gas that's on the ground begins to rise up as some of these plants begin to burp it out of these weird mouths that start to come out of it. And there is a little square of energy that appears. Oh gosh, why is it so big? That appears right here. Can I make it linger? I'm trying to. It's a 10-foot square. I'm trying to make it linger, but it's not going well.
For fade delay, just click linger. And then
Aha! I know how to use Roll20. I'm a professional DM. Okay,
I
cool.
just learned how to use this last session. Don't
Oh,
worry.
thank you. That makes me feel better. So I need the creatures in there. I'm gonna assume that Mipit's not in it because I don't want to kill a cat in the first round. But
I mean, it's point.
I was gonna say, also it's more than half out.
yeah,
so.
yeah, it's fine. But I need both of you to make Constitution saving throws, please and thank you.
What? Who? Me?
Yes, you.
A Constitution save? Nah, couldn't be. 18.
Okay. Yeah, both of you save. You feel this gas. You're starting to like inhale it, and you're like, "Oh, nope, that's not right." And you immediately hold your breath, and you are fine. Okay, Komori, what would you like to do?
I would like to get out. I got 40 feet of movement, so if anything, I can't get fully up to her.
You are starting your turn in it technically, so roll me another Constitution saving throw.
Beans.
Okay, you are now
Crap.
as you're like taking a couple steps forward, you like trip over a root and it knocks the wind out of you and you accidentally take a deep in-breath, and you are now considered poisoned. Okay, carry on with your turn.
Hold on, let me turn poisoned on.
Okay, and this is an effect that you can attempt to save from at the end of your turn.
So I got disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Correct.
Yay. Well, it's a good thing I wasn't planning on doing much aside from moving up to my speed, so 40 feet, so right about there.
Okay. As you wade into the pond, since you have a swim speed, I'm not going to give you, any disadvantage, but you can tell that any other creature would struggle to walk through here. It is like about knee length.
Right.
And a little bit difficult, but you know how to move through water, so I think it would be silly to give you disadvantage.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
Okay. Anything else?
Honestly, like I said, I just planned on moving up with my speed. I don't have much else I can really do. Cause, well,
Are you gonna rage? Are you going to
actually,
prepare, hold an action?
Oh, I actually have 5 more feet of movement. Okay, now I can. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go. Okay, in this case, we're gonna do rage. So we can do that, and then I am going to make. Yeah, we're gonna attack with the tail, in this case, because I have reach with that.
Okay.
And as we discussed last time, it's going to be bludgeoning damage. So I do have disadvantage.
Correct. A 16, however, does just hit.
Ooh. Okay. Okay, so in that case, it's going to be that, and then let me make sure, yeah. Oh, and an additional +2 since I'm raging, so 6 bludgeoning.
Okay.
You know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Second attack.
Beautiful.
Okay, we take those.
That definitely hits. For another
You know what?
6
Consistency is
bludgeoning.
key.
So as you wade through this water, moving faster than a normal being would, given that you're very adept with moving through water, you whip your tail around twice, lashing into this creature. Anything else you would like to do?
No, you know what? I am good.
Okay, it is the end of your turn, so go ahead and make a Constitution save.
Okie dokie.
Woohoo!
Let's go.
Okay, you are no longer poisoned.
Yeah!
Okay, let me just check something.
Nice, thank you.
Hey, DM,
Hey, yes,
are you playing music?
I am playing music.
Okay, let me refresh.
It, like, kind of stopped for a second, because apparently this track has some dead noise in it, so I might
No, roll
shift
20. Roll 20, and I have been having issues with.
Roll 20 and I have been having issues.
Look, roll 20 and I have what we call a toxic relationship.
Okay. At the end of your turn, she is going to use a legendary action, and she pulls necrotic energy out of the ground and fires it at you, Komori. That is a 23 to hit you.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Okay, it's 12 necrotic damage as
Ooh.
it just kind of comes out of nowhere. She just pulls a hand up and whips it at you. Okay.
Okay, so 12, that goes fully through.
To Zyra, what would you like to do?
Alrighty, question. How tall is this entryway?
The entryway maybe is about, like, normal ceiling height, so maybe 10-ish feet, and then as it opens up right where Nyx is, that's kind of like the entranceway door, it opens up into about maybe 30-ish to 40-ish feet. It's hard to see.
Gotcha. Well, no saving myself here. I am just going to... Oh, you know what? How far away is she right now? Nope, I need to be closer. No saving myself here. I am going to hold my breath and try and move through this gas cloud.
Okay, go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw.
Yep. Woof.
Okay, you try...
I'm
Oh, go ahead.
gonna replace that with an 18.
Okay, you are not poisoned. As just starfire swirls around you for a brief second, as you watch as one of these skeletons kind of reaches out and grabs your ankle, and normally it would have startled you, but you were ready for it.
Fantastic. Alrighty, I'm going to get right over here, and then I'm going to use a bonus action, Wild Shape, taking on the form of the Archer as constellations begin to appear on Zyra's skin. Not in a dream, but in real life. And let me shoot out a starry form Archer at her. 11 to hit. I'm guessing it doesn't.
Does not.
And then as my action, I'm going to shoot out a chill touch towards her. As just one after another, first is just the starry energy, and then second is the skeletal hand.
Yes, as what happens is this kind of like wave of necrotic energy comes up and blocks both of them, and she just stares at you, and you notice that her eyes glance down to, I don't know wherever you're keeping the amulet, but you feel her eyes on you.
I probably have it like wrapped around my wrist.
Okay. Yeah, she definitely has noticed and is looking. And it feels otherworldly. It was not a vision-based thing.
Fun.
Okay, is that the end of your turn?
Indeedy.
Okay, at the end of your turn, she now does not like you. And are you... Oh, you're not poisoned. Never mind. So, yeah, she'll do that. She will take an attack at you. That is a 24.
Yeah.
Okay, you take... Hold on, it's taking forever to roll. You take 16 necrotic damage. As she points her hand at you, and you're, like, nervous, and then all of a sudden you feel from the back behind you something hit you, and this wave of energy come over you.
Desire does not look good.
Squishy wizard. Okay, Nyx.
Dude.
I make a
Constitution save, please.
okay. A 15.
Okay. A 15 does not make it. You are considered poisoned. However, you can move out.
Okay, I'll move there.
Okay, what would you like to do?
I'm going to just Eldritch Blast it twice.
Go for it.
A 14 misses and a 24
does hit.
damage, and that is all I'll do this turn.
Okay. At the end of your turn, she's going to use her last legendary action and attempt to hit Komori because that's the huge one in front of her, and yeah, that's like a 13. That misses.
Whew. Thank gosh.
Okay.
Oh, hi!
Yep. However, that is the end of Nyx's turn, and it is now her turn. She growls out and just says again, "Cannot hurt her. Don't hurt her." And is going to step forward and grab your wrist, Komori. That is a 23 to hit you.
Yup.
Okay, you take 13 poison damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I'm down to 7 HP.
Oh no!
Okay, you are
Komori
fine.
just got beat the shit out of.
Yeah, you are fine as you feel poison come over you, but you manage to just handle it, take care of it. Okay.
Ow. I don't like it here.
That is the end of her turn. Okay, Ravasi, what are you doing?
Oh. Most of my heat needs to be touched. Oh no. I'm just gonna yell, Komori, don't die! And, sorry, I'm thinking. He is
You're good.
going to cast. She's within 6 feet of me, right? Yeah, we're plenty good. I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers on her.
Okay, that's a wisdom saving throw.
Yes, ma'am. It should be a DC.
That is a 14.
Oh, thank goodness. Alrighty. So she'll take 3d6, the 10 psychic damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then, must immediately use its action, if available, to move as far away as its speed allows.
Away from you, so that's
Away from me.
going to be...
I'm trying to get Komori some space to breathe.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna start 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, starting to make my way towards Komori and say, careful, I can heal you some.
That would be great right about now. And she's looking fucked up.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Lucky for you, this is just a little being whose lair actions only happen every other turn. So, Komori, what would you like to do?
Oh, man.
Conjuring.
I mean, I would like to run over and continue the assault, but it sounds like if I do, I'm gonna be in a world of hurt. Then again, she's also running on pure adrenaline right now, and it's just like, are you gonna? She's gonna turn over to Ravasi while raging, and just go, "You going to be all right if I press on?"
You're almost dead!
What are you doing, Komori?
Goodness
Komori would
gracious.
do.
What would Komori do?
I think she's actually just gonna shout at this thing. You're not making a lot of sense for saying about hurting someone. Keeping this up, we're gonna be hurting you. And is going to move it on over. And just try to get as close as she can without provoking and just get another tail attack or two in.
Okay, you do have guidance from chat, so you can add a d4
Wow.
for your first one.
Thank
Oh,
you,
mean,
chat.
Can I use my bardic too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
Stack 'em.
and what's that, a D8?
that's a D6.
6.
I'm not that cool yet.
Fair.
15
With a 15, I
just
don't think that works.
misses.
No!
I'm so sorry. I wanted it to be cool for you.
That's fine. Look, it was worth a shot. I can't complain.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie.
Your second attack?
Second attack then. Yeah, might as well. The point is I'm trying to attack. And try we might.
Not doing great. What's happening
I am wounded.
is as you are like holding your side, swinging your tail, not doing great, it's hard for you to tell what part of this creature is this creature and what part is the environment as it stands beneath this tree that almost looks like bones, the vines around it.
Uh-huh.
Anything else?
Nope. That is gonna be it.
Okay, to Zyra, what would you like to do?
Alrighty, I am going to cast a freebie guiding bolt from my Star Druid. So beautiful, 24 to hit.
Yes, definitely hits.
Beautiful, 9 radiant.
Okay, as a burst of radiant star energy appears around them.
And I actually get advantage
You do
on
get
this.
advantage. Check the crit.
25 for another 12 radiant damage.
Okay.
And is there anything I can tuck behind to try and be out of sight here?
You can certainly try. There's vines and trees and different things.
Yeah, so I'll certainly try. I'll try and kind of hunker down in between these rocks right here. Pop a squat.
Okay, is that the end of your turn?
Yep, that is all.
Okay, at the end of your turn, the being uses 2 legendary actions, and Komori, you watch as a swirl of vines grabs them and sucks her down into the ground. And she disappears, and hold on, reappears here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the end of her legendary action. Nyx, what would you like to do?
Why are you closer to me?
Oh, you're approaching me?
Nyx will just run and I'll just blast her again.
Go for it.
That miss.
13 does indeed
Yeah.
miss.
They both miss.
Oh, you guys are rolling horribly.
I've been rolling great!
Okay, next, is there anything else you would like to do?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, at the end of your turn, to Zyra, between the rocks, as you see her reappear in the vines from the ground as if she has been birthed there, you see her eyes once again on the amulet, and she points a hand out at you. However, as the kind of necrotic energy coalesces around you, you manage to kind of half dodge out of the way, and you feel a little bit of a give from the amulet as her attack misses.
Oh,
But
interesting.
it is now her turn.
Okay.
And she will hover closer to you and kind of comes around and reaches out and grabs your wrist. That is a 15 to hit you.
Let's see if there's anything I can do. Yes, I am going to shield this.
Okay. And what happens is you kind of pull the energy from yourself, the stars swirling around you, and you feel a boost of that kind of energy that was coming from the amulet as the shield pops up in between you, as this being of teeth and like just dripping in fungus is bearing over you. Okay.
We're looking to rest, I promise.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
We're looking to put you to rest, I promise.
Okay. Ravasi, what would you like to do?
Kamori keeps running away from me.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I'm trying to heal you, damn it. I'm gonna. Is this?
Use the healing gun. Come on, all good clerics have a gun to heal.
Is this difficult terrain, DM?
Yeah, that whole area is difficult terrain.
So I'd have to like. What about going around it? Like here?
Yeah. I mean, over here still kind of seems to be difficult terrain.
Okay. Maury! I'm gonna.
I will say Tazira does not look great too. What is
Ignore
Ravasi
me.
doing?
I don't want to get closer.
Then do what you do best.
I am going to bonus action Misty Step towards Kamori. Because she is a frontliner. So I will mark that off. I have exactly 30 feet.
Perfect.
So I can get to her. And I'm just like, I said to stay where you are.
Perfect. What does it look like when you Misty Step?
It looks like a swirl of shadow and flame, like almost dancing together. So like, and then like shoots out. It like encases him, and then like shoots out, and he lands. And it like drops away when he lands.
Beautiful.
And then he is going to cure wounds. I can only do it at the first level. Take 7. That's all I got, man.
Oh,
You know what? Beggars can't be
do you
choosers.
get
It's fine.
Misty Step from something else?
No, I get Misty Step from my Warlock ability.
Okay, because you can't cast 2 spells in the same turn.
I
in this
forget you play
campaign.
by these rules.
That's the normal rules?
My husband's cooler.
Yeah, wow! Wow! See, I have to play by normal rules because Shorty broke my campaign when I played by cool rules. So
Don't blame me.
No, it's your fault. So I will let you, if you want to redo your turn because you can't cast the 2 spells.
Yeah.
You can absolutely redo your turn.
It was a good thing I did not hit enter yet.
Okay, so I will let you run it back.
Cool. I can't get to Kamori, so hopefully Kamori, you know what? I'm gonna try to cut her off. So I can get to about here. Is this over here difficult terrain, or could I make my way like here?
I'd let you do it. You're nimble.
Cool.
You can.
I'm gonna scoot my little ass right here, and what I'll instead do is when Komori comes barreling towards me, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds.
Okay, sounds good. You can hold your action to cure
I'm gonna hold my
wounds.
action. I'm gonna there. Kind of
Perfect.
that's 30 feet. Skirt my way around, and I'm holding my action to cast Cure Wounds.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, that is a layer action. Let's do this one. So I need. Let me see, Komori to Zyra. Oh, you're far enough away. Yep, you're far enough away. So Komori and Zyra, I need you both to make a strength saving throw as these vines shoot out from the walls and these skeletons encased in the vines begin to grab onto you.
Ooh. Yep.
Oh, I do get advantage on this
Yes, you do.
because I'm raging. Thank God.
Roll. Why isn't it rolling? My system is acting up a bit, so fair warning.
That's okay.
Oh! Oh! Okay!
Holy shit!
I didn't even click it that many times!
Okay, the first one still counts.
Not 20.
That was amazing. So many
Yeah.
strength throws.
20.
So what happens here is Zyra starts to get grabbed, and she is already so freaked out that, like, it is a flailing moment of momentous strength from her.
You're seeing, like, you're freaked out. This creature, like, almost kind of reminds you of a lich, is close to you, and you are scared, and you're seeing all the possibilities, and in that moment, you flail backwards, your momentous strength, and this skeleton does not grab onto you. However, Komori, you're kind of, like, pulling your strength away, and it grabs onto the side like, full-on bodily grabs your injury, and it makes you buckle just a little bit.
Oh.
And you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. So that's halved for you to 2. And you are now restrained. I'm sorry,
Oh.
Ravasi.
Son of a bitch.
So, Komori, it is your turn.
Yep.
You can attempt to escape with a successful athletics or acrobatics check.
Fair.
It will, however, take your action.
I mean, if it doesn't take my movement, I can't complain about that.
No, it doesn't take your movement.
Oh. That's fine. And I do believe I gain advantage because it is a strength check and raging.
Yes, you do.
All right. Let's do it. Huh, that is definitely a straight up roll, huh?
Just what you need. And you manage to pull out. You have your full movement.
Let's go. Even though it's taking my action, I am basically just gonna. If you could almost hear a speeding. Basically, hear if this was modern day, you hear a speeding car down the road. So boom. I am gonna go past Ravasi, seeing he is prepped. Blue fast Sanic.
All right. Let's cast a Cure Wounds on you.
Please don't tell me you do like the good job. Go get him, champ. Slap on the ass.
No, we're not that close yet. DM, I do have a question for you.
I have an answer
which
for you.
is, Cure Wounds is a bard spell for me, which I only have first levels of, but my pact spell levels are second level. Can I cast
yeah.
Cure Wounds at second level? Cool.
Absolutely. If it's a spell that you can upcast, you can use your warlock spells to upcast it.
Sweet. I was just checking. Take 11 healing. That's a little better.
Yeah, you couldn't
Thank you.
hear him screech, but he screeched.
No, I heard just like the peak end of it.
I don't know why. A lot of my stuff just does not like certain things, and that's okay.
It's straight up like almost like a brush of like the hand. As you like sprint past, he's like barely able to like catch you, and you feel the healingness like shoot through your arm.
Beautiful. That was your action, your movement. Do you have a bonus action you want to do?
I don't really have any bonus actions I can do. That's a bit of the issue. I mean, am I go? Should be okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna end my turn because I can't attack, but I'm probably going to get damaged in some way.
Okay. None of you are poisoned. Sag. At the.
What do you mean, Sag?
I have something cool that I want to do.
Fine.
Okay. At the end of your turn, she is going to attempt to grab to Zyra again.
Run to Zyra.
That's a 10 to hit. This shield, and you're like still kind of spluttering back, and the shield of energy is around you in this whirl of magic you just can't quite control, and you see her latch out, and you manage to like pull away from it, but it is your turn.
Beautiful. Well, go big or go home, I suppose. I'm going to cast a moonbeam right behind her, getting her in the crossfire.
Okay.
And I'm going to upcast at 3rd level. Can I have a con saving throw? 15, please.
That is a 13.
Beautiful. That is 15 radiant damage.
Poor Chrome isn't here, but I used his assistance. So, and it did not help. Okay.
Oh, nar. Oh, let me put on my linger for you. There we go.
Okay.
And then I will, I guess, bonus action, disadvantage, Starry Archer, 10.
10
Nope.
misses.
And then, I guess I will be right here.
Okay. Nyx, what would you like to do?
She is within whacking range, so I will hex her for my bonus action and give her disadvantage on wisdom checks.
Okay.
And then I'll go attack her. A 25
Yeah.
and a 27.
Both hit.
Alright, so it's 9 plus 14, so 23, and then 2d6. That is 8 necrotic. I don't know if that matters.
It does not matter. As the energy comes over her.
Very nice. Okay. That is all Nyx will do.
Okay, at the end of your turn, she is looking rough, by the way. You watch as she begins to pant, and she reaches out and grabs onto the amulet, even though it's paining her. And she is whispering and begins to cast a spell. I need you to make a con saving throw to Zyra.
Gotcha. What the earth? What is it doing? I hit it once. That's an 11.
Okay. So with an 11, you definitely fail. Give me a quick second. I don't wanna have to hand count this.
Do it anyway.
Okay. Well, fine.
Prove a point.
You feel the energy begin to pour up, and You actually hear her yell out at the same time as her hand does this. She goes, "No, no," and grabs onto her opposing wrist and begins to try to pull it back. She's fighting something within herself. And you take 22 necrotic damage as this blight falls over your body.
Well, the good news is, if this cleric wasn't traumatized before, I guess she is skin now. Tazara's gonna drop.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
shit.
God.
Okay. That is the end of, yeah, she's too fighting herself to move. She's still in the moonbeam, although the moonbeam goes away because you fell unconscious, so never mind. Okay. Ravasi, what are you doing?
Shit. Alrighty. We really need to get. We really need potions of healing here, huh? He's gonna kind of like mutter that to himself as he tromps on his way over to Zari, who's like, he's like, "You're doing good shit, so I need you alive," and is going to cure wounds at the 2nd level. The last time I can do this, guys.
Beautiful.
For 13 hit points. And then, would I be at all able to, like, drag her away?
That would
Even-
invoke a, attack of opportunity, unfortunately.
Well, it'd be forced movement on her part, though, right?
I guess? Yeah, I'll allow that. However, you are a twink, so this is hard for you.
I have average strength.
Although Tazira doesn't weigh much.
Yeah. Also,
True.
very, very willowy, which is good.
I moved 10 feet, I'm encumbered, so I can essentially drag you like 10 more feet. So I can drag you to like here.
So you come back to consciousness with this thing like seeming to fight itself over you. As Ravasi, like you feel this weird, a little odd tang in your mouth magic as you're dragged back away from this creature. Ravasi,
He's just like gritting his teeth, just like dragging you back, and it's like, how about I take the amulet? Or you fly.
Yeah, what? What happened?
And then I'm gonna look over at Nyx and say, Nyx! I thought you were supposed to fuck things like this up! And I'm gonna give you a bardic inspiration.
Okay. Next you have a bardic inspiration. There's no layer action this turn. Komori, what would you like to do?
Okay. Seeing how everything else is going, Komori is just gonna try and create some distance and just be like, get in front of Tazira here and go to make two-tail attacks at this being just to be more protective than anything.
Okay, go for it.
Doesn't matter that I'm almost dying. It's fine. First one is 17.
That hits.
Yup, and it's 11 bludge.
Okay, okay.
Second attack. Oh, let's go. Well, we love to see it.
Nice rolls, nice rolls. You're taking advantage of this thing seeming to be at war with itself. And as you hit it, you see just a flash and skin, like this illusion of skin melds over the face. And you see what looks to be a kind of young, half-elven woman, with piercing green eyes as she's yelling, and then her eyes glow this drastic green as it begins to come out of her. And Tazira and Ravasi, you especially notice as over here at the throne begins to break apart, and a glowing energy, like this glowing seed, begins to kind of rise up from under it and is floating in the center of the room on top of the throne.
Gotcha.
Good.
Okay. Anything else, Kamori?
Nope, that is it.
Okay. Let's do this. At the end of your turn, she's going to use 2 legendary actions because she does not like where she is. And you watch as that flicker of, like, the face of the cleric that once was gets completely taken back over as a yell rings out and the skeletal face reemerges and she sucks down into the ground and reappears over here. Okay. To Zyra, that is your turn.
Zari will just kind of pick herself up, very much still out of it, and take a moment and activate her wild shape again as the constellation of the chalice begins to appear on her body. And then I'm going to pat Kamori on the shoulder. You got this. Finish her off. You're good. You're good. That is 15 healing, and then I get 1d8 plus 4, 7 back myself.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful. And I see the seed of energy, correct?
You do.
Beautiful. I am going to start wading. I guess I could probably get like 10 feet with the difficult terrain.
You could, yeah. Yeah, that works. Because you have 20 feet of movement left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alrighty. That is all for my turn.
Okay, Nyx.
Nyx will just follow it and give her the whack-a-mole.
Okay, go for it.
A 17.
17 does hit.
And the second is a 20.
Okay, 20 does hit.
So it's 13, 27, and 2d6.
Okay.
So 34.
Nice. Okay. As she's standing before you, you see that she almost drops to her knees underneath the weight of your scythe as you swing it bodily through her. The vines are struggling to reform back. It looks like she is on her last leg, but she is still hanging on as from her knees on the ground, she reaches out and grabs on to your ankle. That is a 26 to hit you. Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you take 21 poison damage. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
21. 12.
Okay, you are now panting there poisoned.
How's Nyx?
Okay. Nyx is fine mostly, but Nyx is gonna call this creature a bitch and hellish rebuke her.
Okay.
So it's a dex
Dang.
save.
Okay, holy shit, Nyx.
Woo!
Oh my god.
Someone
shit.
pissed.
Okay,
That's super effective.
how do you want to kill her?
Yeah, when she touches me, I just look down at her and go, bitch! And then she bursts into flames, purple flames, and dies, screaming violently.
As she bursts into purple flames, so does the seed at the center of, the room, and you watch as it begins to burn, and the whole room seems to suddenly be awashed in this purple flames as it begins to cleanse and kind of come over, and you watch as all the necrotic energy begins to be, it seems to almost be fighting with Nyx's magic and Nyx's energy. And as the moment calms, you see that the room has returned to this almost glade. The energy begins to drain back into the ground, completely disappeared. The plants begin to almost blossom back to life. And you watch as above you, you notice that the whole ceiling was covered in vines. As they begin to recede, you see a large open hole to the sky and to the almost evening above as stars begin to pop out. And the pool water becomes clear. And all that is left is this throne with a singular glowing moat sitting on it and this pile of bones. What would you like to do?
I'll wait on forward.
Okay.
I'm gonna look over to Nyx and go, that's what you needed to do. Good job.
Thanks.
Beautiful.
False life cast.
Yep, just casual false life on self. So
It's fine.
So Zyra, you wait on forward and you feel the amulet like almost twitch in your hands. And as you look at it, you watch as the moat kind of rises up and almost meets the back of the amulet, and you flip it around and something clicks underneath it and it opens and there's a small pearl in the back.
Oh. And I will just kind of look at the mode of light. Is it still here or did it vanish?
It vanishes at this point.
I'll just kind of give a smile and thank you.
You kind of hear a rattling breath just in the back of your head for a brief moment, and it just says, "Lay her to rest."
We will. I'll make sure she's honored to Katsuya standards.
And you just feel a confirmation, affirmation, the gratefulness. There we go. That was the word I was looking for. As things begin to recede, Ravasi, you're kind of looking around a little bit, and you see in the corner over here that there seems to be some adventuring gear.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going.
Okay. You kind of tug the pack out. It looks like it was strangled by some vines. And it's very evidently like an adventuring pack. You know that this group of 4 adventurers had gone down here to probably cleanse it of whatever this was. And it did not go well, obviously. But you notice that there's a interesting looking wand in there made of birchwood. 2 potions of healing, an interesting looking potion that has almost like a whirlwind in it, and then a bag of gold pieces.
Will you throw that in the loot channel?
Boy, howdy will I.
Maybe.
And I will just give it to you. You know that the potion's a potion of speed. Just because, like, potions are recognizable in this world. I don't want you to have to worry about it.
I am going to, while I'm standing here, cast Identify on the pearl.
Okay, it is a pearl of power.
Ooh.
Oh, that's dangerous, DM.
Oh boy.
Alrighty.
Can I just say, I am not going to get stuck doing healing business
Thank you, Ravasi.
in fights. I am aware I'm very good at it, but, it is not my job, nor something I am supposed to be doing consistently. So,
You can curse
look
the
over
gods for putting this group together with me.
I look over at Komori, so maybe don't run away when I'm trying to help you.
Considering she's fucked up and everything, she's just gonna glare towards you and just go, Look, while I appreciate it, a stiff breeze could knock you down.
A
So
breeze.
maybe be thankful that some of us are willing to take the hits that no one else can.
I understand that you are angry and you work alone and that you have some sort of complex that is going on in personal problems. But we are unfortunately a team now by the faith. And while I understand my roles, I need you to understand my role, which is if you go down, while I don't enjoy it, I can get you back up. Which means that if you go down in a fight far away where I can't reach you, you will die, and that is very unfortunate.
Well, I mean, to be fair, in the future I can help out. I just that was a lot.
It was not fun. No. How's Kamori looking after that?
Mechanically, up 16 out of 59.
Oofda.
You
Yeah.
on one? Jesus Christ.
I am talking a little
I
more
got
about,
knocked
like,
down
after-
to I got knocked down to like 3 HP before the heal.
I do mean a bit more like after Ravasi kind of half explained, half admonished.
Oh, at that point, yeah, she's going to continue glaring at you even though she's back to normal and just at this point actually just stop bothering to look at you and just goes, "Are we done with this whole thing now?"
Why are you pissed at me? I'm right!
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't exactly call you being right the height of diplomacy.
Exactly!
I'm
Why
saying
are
you
you
sound like a
pissed at
bit.
me?
At this point, I am going to come right next to you and just go, "Maybe learn to shut that trap of yours."
He's kind
Got
of
it.
like blustering a little bit. Why are you so angry with me?
Because everything that comes out of your mouth is absolute shit. All you want to do is keep talking. And yet I doubt you could cash a single check that your ass writes.
First of all, I say plenty of correct things. So, first of all, don't get that fucking twisted. Thank you very much. Second of all, I am telling you that I am trying to help you in a goddamn fight. I understand that you're pissed. I understand that I can be a little brash. You don't get to tell me that I'm full of shit when I am risking my fucking life to make sure you don't die.
Just Desirous frantically scribbling in the background.
Canonically, yes.
Um,
Nick's looked over and Desirous taking notes.
It's an awkward tension we've created in the room, and me personally does not know how to deal with this.
you're like all standing nose to nose here. And Tazira, you're taking notes and you hear almost thunderous noise that you recognize from far away. There's a dragon approaching.
Oh, thank God, this is getting awkward. Cloggy!
And after like half a second longer, you hear a loud kaboom above you as like the whole room shakes and various rocks begin to fall in and a gigantic green head. Like this hole above you is pretty large. It's a good, like, 50 or so feet, and she can't fit through it. Like, just her head's coming down. And she just goes, "Oh, great. Great job. Great job, everyone. Do you want to come out so we can have a conversation and it'll give me a second to divine what I can see?"
Sure.
Komori's just gonna start walking out. Just without even a word, is just gonna start walking out.
Ravasi's gonna follow, just muttering, "Holy shit, my ass! Holy shit, my ass! I have plenty of good things to say."
Wait, would I hear this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably, yeah.
I will say, well, of course your ass is full of shit. Think about it. Where else would it come out from? Aside from your mouth.
You know, you wouldn't probably think yourself as much of a monster if you were a little nicer to people.
That. Like, Desira gives you a very, just truly disappointed look at that sentence. You're being cruel.
She's being cruel. I'm defending myself.
You're both butting heads and getting fired up when you need 5 minutes away from one another. Ravasi, you stay at the back of the line. Komori, please stay at the front of the line. And don't look at each other until we're out of here.
Perfect.
Is there any conversations as you walk back through the dungeon?
Nope, I got nothing.
Sullen.
Okay. As you continue back out into the kind of clearing at twilight, you see that the vines have kind of pulled to the side and are still kind of cradling this body, but you watch, you see that some of them are wrapped around the body a little bit more, almost mummified in this, and they seem to not be moving nearly as much, and most of them are covered in these red roses.
Do I know what the funeral rites of the followers of Katsuo are?
Go ahead and make me a religion check.
Gotcha. I will tap myself on the head and cast guidance. What on earth?
Good lord. Did we
don't
just
know
count the
what
first?
this. No.
You're just
I'm clicking
glitching out.
Apparently Desira's seeing way too many futures today.
Apparently.
Good
I love that canon. For broken technology. So
Love it.
I would say you've seen a funeral rite once before, because where you come from, they still revere lots of the various gods and goddesses, so maybe you attended one. And you know very directly that they like to be returned to the ground naturally, so that their bodies can essentially fuel the nature around them. So most of the times they're planted in gardens or in forests or anything of the like, and there's always some sort of plant planted above them.
Alrighty. Can I look through her pack and see it? I mean, she looks like a druid. Did she have any seeds on her?
Actually, yeah, now that you can kind of, that little satchel that was on her side, now that you can kind of access it a little bit more, you can see that there's various dried herbs, including seeds. You see some seeds that make a nature check to see if you know what kind of seeds these are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Yep. So with the 13, you can't quite tell what kind of seeds they are, but they look like some sort of like floral.
Gotcha, absolutely. Kamori, would you be able to help me move her body?
And I will help be able to just if Komori just like shows that if she needs to, she will dig whatever she needs to do.
Oh, I can handle that. I've got a spell for that. And I
Fair
will just like a couple of minutes to make sure that I take off anything that's not composed in the soil off of her. To make sure that everything goes back as it's supposed to, and then I will cast Mold Earth a couple of times and get her a grave going.
Lovely. You do so very easily. I would say with that nat 20, you know that most of them wear like, I mean, Cece, you'd probably know this more than I do, but like natural clothes decomposes way better than the plastic shit we have nowadays. Like that's kind of the stuff that most of those followers wear, just because, especially adventurers, and they don't wear armors. So you don't have to do much. She's essentially ready for this.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Listen, always dress for your funeral.
Right? So, Komori, you can gently lift the body. The vines come with it. They almost kind of act as a shroud of it, with the roses growing out of it. And surprisingly enough, you're kind of expecting some thorns. There is none.
Got it.
As you lay her to rest in this trough dug, and can easily, with a couple of spells, fill it in and plant some seeds above her.
Beautiful.
It's now well into twilight, as after a couple of minutes, good old Cloggy lands kind of at the head of the cave and kind of sits above you, and leans her head down and goes, "All right, so now I can help you. I took a moment while you were handling the exit and did a little bit of a better look around, and I have some information you'll want to know. So, you're seeking a giant in the north who has a one-horned helm. His name is Harshnag, and he roams around there and is friendly with several of the small folk tribes because he slays frost giants as a frost giant himself. And he can take you to the Eye of the Allfather, where you can learn more about the Ordning and the rest of the things that are happening here. I do, however, know that before you reach the Oracle, you must assemble a relic from the 5 rebelling giant lords. The easiest relics are the ones that are stolen by the various barbarian tribes throughout the north. They've used them to plant as a kind of crude way to make a place of worship for themselves. So all of these burial sites and worship places for whatever unreal or weird deities that they attempt to worship, and she like kind of makes a face a little bit, are attempted to be created out of these giant relics, and each of them has a tie. And if you would like, I can tell you a bit more of each of the places you must go and point them on a map for you.
I would love that.
Okay. So let me bring you to a map. So for those who have not seen, I'm going to just briefly show kind of the map of Ilumelan, in general. Oh, hold on, I gotta zoom out. So this is the world. It is a Pangea. We're kind of in this area up here right now. Tobias's tower is right here. And a lot of you have been kind of in this area for the bit. However, Ravasi and Nyx teleported from way down here. Komori was originally kind of over here. And you, Tazira, were up here in the Village of Hearts. So you guys kind of all teleported right here, and then you took the good old Cloud Giant Tower to here at this point. So that's kind of just like an overview. And then we're...
Yes, the beloved
What?
tower.
What, Sly?
Yes, the beloved penis tower.
Oh, I should find that clip.
It's a penis.
That was amazing. Okay, we are going to zoom in a little bit. So this is kind of in the north. You are at the "You are here" sign.
Yippee!
Right here. And so with this, she takes a moment and she kind of explains the different places to go. So in the tundra, there is Raven Rock right here. And there's actually 2 giant artifacts. There's a ring of the Fire Giant Lord and a great club of the Hill Giant Lord. At Morgur's Mound, here in kind of the hill region, there is a mithril spear tip of the Cloud Giant Lord. At Baruna's Well, up here, there's a cracked horn of the Stone Giant Lord. And way, way north in the tundra is the Great Worm Cavern, and that is a broken shield of the Frost Giant. Now, I will tell you, Harshnag tends to roam around this area.
Gotcha.
So kind of in the north, between the Great Worm Cavern and Baruna as well. He apparently roams around this area. He does occasionally branch out. He has been seen as far north as going across to the area that the Frost Giants kind of hold. But recently he's been sticking around in this area. It seems that he's waiting for something. Likely you.
Oh.
Great.
Now,
Awesome.
this journey will take weeks. And that is the information that I can give you. Do it in whatever order you wish, however you wish, or don't do it at all. But things are stirring.
All right.
What kind of dragon was he?
Who?
Am I misunderstanding that? The guy roaming around the Great Worm Cave?
Oh, he's a giant.
He's a giant.
I misunderstood that. I thought it was a dragon for some reason. Probably the worm was making me,
Fair.
Mostly fair.
As a thank you for clearing out the ley line, even though I know that my information is thank you enough.
Indeed.
But you're going to need some help carrying some of these objects. They are heavy. And she tosses down a bag that you would instantly recognize as a bag of holding to Zyra.
Thank you, Wagi. You're the best.
I know. Is there anything else you wish for me to divine?
He opens his mouth and then closes his mouth.
I am actually going to connect to her mind.
Okay.
And just kind of ask her in her mind, how's Simona City doing? If you're got an eye over there.
Okay, so for the sake of things, I'm just going to remind you, you haven't talked to her more than once in your time. So, I'm not saying you can't do this, I'm just saying that she doesn't necessarily know your connection or anything like that. So she kind of just narrows her eyes at you for a moment, and then, you watch as her eyes roll into the back of her head, as she kind of takes a moment and turns. And you see her pull out this crystal ball out of kind of, you're not sure where she had it, but she's holding it in her hand in front of her for a moment. And then turns back to you and in your head just says, the usual at the moment. Rumors of trade agreements. That's about it.
Exciting stuff. Well, thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated. Just had to satisfy my own curiosity.
She nods. Anyone else?
I'll look back. Yep.
I guess I have one question, just more out of curiosity for myself. What can you tell us about these barbarians?
They call themselves Uthgar barbarians. All of them are various tribes that usually are like various animal creatures. There's rumors that they resemble the creatures in aspects and traits. They all seem to worship this Uthgar person, but it's unknown. He's not a deity of this world. I'm not actually sure if he's a power that is, or if he's something they're attempting to raise, if that makes sense. Some of them are aggressive. Some of them have completely rejected society and will kill you on sight. Others are less aggressive and are simply a rejected people looking to make their way in the world.
At that sentence, Komori is maybe going to slightly wince at that for anyone who can kind of notice.
Yeah, she said that very pointedly at you.
I don't think an 11 passive perception notices that.
Nope, probably not. Be discerning.
Fair enough. Oh, that's all I got.
Alrighty.
So maybe they can answer my own questions.
Maybe they can. With that being said, I have creatures to hunt and new things to keep an eye on now that my ley line is free. And she nods, and you hear the wings go whoof, whoop, as she begins to take off, almost blowing a couple trees over, as you watch this dragon sail into kind of laying low above the tree line as she retreats into the twilight sky. And I think this is a great spot to take a super quick break. So we will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. If you have not stand up, stretch, take a drink of water, and we will catch you all shortly. And we are back. Welcome on back, everybody. I hope you had an absolutely lovely break and took a moment to kind of stand up, move around, all that stuff. We are popping back into our story here. So, Cloggy Lee Mater has just taken off. She left you in this kind of twilight, clearing. There we go. I don't know why that word was so hard today. And it is kind of evening. You have been given, you have where to go from here. What would you like to do?
Are we heading out right now, or are we resting?
Don't know how smart it would be to travel right now.
I can use a nap.
Well then, he snaps his fingers and casts, Unseen Servant. And, plops his ass down, and you see him just kind of, commanding the Unseen Servant to, like, make a fire, pull bedrolls out, clear up the area a little bit, start making some food, and he's just kind of, like, lounging back, just like, alright, we're gonna nap here.
Well, that actually is very, very useful. Thank you, Ravasi.
Thank you. I, hate making fire. They get so smoky.
Oh, that's why you learned Produce Flame.
I had... Anyway,
You watch as, you can't even see the Unseen Servant, but, like, there's logs being set up, and you see a strike of flint, a strike of flint, a strike of flint. It's not lighting to Zyra.
There you go. Hold on, it's gonna roll 5 times, probably.
Do it anyway. It's funny.
Yeah.
Do it for the
the
bit.
meme. Day break.
Do it for the vine.
Is it gonna
Vibe?
roll?
It's not gonna roll. No flames for the poor Unseen Servant. They're still striking and
I
striking.
can't
Some say they're still striking to this day.
Rossi's doing, like, the finger pinch. You can literally do this. I've watched you do it dozens of times.
Okay.
You have, like,
We'll just
does
say,
he have,
for
like,
the sake of
performance
things,
anxiety?
you see the, flint shake back and forth. And then to Zyra, as you use Produce Flame and light it, you see that the wood was a little damp.
Oh.
Who put a penis on my tower? God damn it.
Penis Tower Part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Hold on. Stupid penis tower.
No, don't kill him.
No!
It's
You
fine.
deserve it!
You can. This does have an 18+ label. You can have your penis tower.
I don't know what's worse, making an actual penis tower or the fact that it's got blue balls.
I mean, it also has a blue shaft, so should probably go see a doctor about that.
Yeah, that's 4 or more hours kind of situation.
Anyway, so the camp
Sorry.
begins to kind of come together as Ravasi's Unseen Servant, and after like Ravasi's stuff is handled and the fire's lit and there's like a pot of something bubbling, the Unseen Servant like goes and starts tugging on Komori's pack and starts to try to pull your bedroll out for you.
I have a bedroll?
I assumed so.
Do I look like I carry a lick of anything with me?
I don't know. I haven't gone and looked through
Which-
your inventory.
By the way, I don't
Neither
know if
have
you
I.
know this. Unseen servants only
Oh.
do stuff if I tell it to do stuff, and so even though this whole time Ravasi's intentionally like not looking at you, He is intentionally making sure that the unseen servant is helping you out. But I don't
okay,
know
I
if
guess I do have a bad roll.
I don't know if Komori realizes that it doesn't have free will.
Would that be an insight or a perception?
Arcana.
Oh, I'm actually not bad at this.
Okay, Unseen Servant is like basic bitch spell, and actually, I think your mentor, for a lack of better term, use the spell all the time.
Fair.
So you would know.
I won't say anything, but I will keep that in mind. To where it's just like, all right, well, he's not being that bad.
Mm-hmm.
It is the subtlest
It's
of
the
all
it's the mindset of just like, he's not bad when he learns to stop talking. Insert foot in mouth.
Yeah. So the Unseen Servant does set up kind of like everybody's stuff. There's something delicious bubbling on the pot, and it's kind of like this really yummy stew, and there's some flaky bread that's like half stale, back from way back in Tri-Stag. Although it's only been like 48 hours. So, with that being said, you have a couple magic items if you want to talk in character and see who gets what, how you're splitting money, etc. And then, what are the plans after this? What are your plans? Unless your characters don't want to talk about it.
I mean, Ravasi will pull out the adventurer's pack that he'd like picked up, but then he started arguing with Komori, so he just kind of like slung it on his back and just stomped out with it and starts kind of like placing things out. So, I don't really know how to split things up. That wand looked useful to me. And here's the potion of healings I was bitching about.
Beautiful. You only find them after you need them.
Exactly. I think Komori and Zari or Nyx should take them. Because Zari, you said you have.
Oh, I've got some. I mean, I've trained Mippet. Mippet can give them, and I'll kind of call over Mippet to give a demonstration.
You call over Mippet, and Mippet gets really, really excited as you're kind of like filling up a little flask with water, and takes the flask and full on dunks her face in it.
All right, Mippet. Ravasi, lay down. Or Nyx, Ravasi, one of you two.
I'm gonna.
Not it.
Fine. He was literally about to like point at like you to like do it, but you got to it first, and he just goes fine and lays down.
All right.
Please don't.
Ravasi, you are well aware that you are touching the ground.
I am not enjoying this.
Mippet gets really excited, dashes around you to Zyra, picks up the flask, and flies over to Ravasi and dumps it on his face.
See?
He kind of like shakes his hair where it's now like damp and starting to flop in his face, and looks at you and goes, Nick, Komori, I think you should each take one.
What?
So that you have availability for healing of some kind, whether that be for yourself or for someone else.
Yeah, fair enough. Can't argue that.
Okay.
There's also, it looks like a potion of speed and gold. Not a ton of gold, but some gold. It's 190 gold.
Yeah, not a ton of gold. It's more than most commoners earn in a year.
To Ravasi, that's like...
That's like his weekly allowance, man.
I suppose split the gold 4-way, and I can identify the other items and see what they do.
pass them off.
Mm.
By the way, that's 47 gold and 5 silver.
Yippee!
Okay, go ahead and add that. I will say, this is a moment that I want to kind of chat about, potion rules, because I've been doing them differently. I also found a mechanic that's a little bit different that I would love to adopt for this campaign. And I figured it'd be cool to tell my players as well as tell, our listeners how we are going to handle potions. So, specifically with a, like, potion of speed or like some sort of magic effect potion, if you are drinking it yourself, you can do it as a bonus action. If you are feeding it to someone else, you can do it as an action, which is kind of how Zari rules usually are. However, with potions of healing, I want to do it differently. Whether you are giving it to yourself or someone else, if it's a bonus action, it is the typical rules. So you can feed someone a potion with a bonus action, you can drink a potion with a bonus action, typical rules. You roll the 2d4 plus 2, etc. However, if you choose to take an action to drink the potion or to feed it to someone else, you have more care. You're making sure that you are drinking everything and like every last drop. So you get max from that potion. So that means that if it's a 2d4 plus 2, you get the 8 plus 2.
Ooh.
So that is how potion rules are going to go from here on forth. So specialty potions, you can chug in a bonus action or feed to somebody else with an action. Potions of healing, which are like common, everybody uses them, like they're really normal. You can drink in a bonus action quick version, so like regular, or as an action with care.
Very fun. I'm chill with this.
Okay. So, Tazira, you identify the wand, and it is the Shavaran Birch focus. It seems to be some sort of wand to help spellcasters with force damage specifically. And then you already identified that you had a Pearl of Power that kind of came from the back of the amulet. And then the potion is a potion of speed.
Well, we've got a potion of speed, a Sabarian birch focus, which would help either of you two, and I'll look to Nyx and Ravasi. The amulet had a pearl of power in it. And so, and I will kind of place the wand between you guys. And I do have to ask, would you guys mind if I kept the pearl?
You are a magic user,
That I am.
and you found it.
Well, a ghost gave it to me.
Sure. Nick, do you particularly want this wand? Or mind if I take it?
I can't imagine that's gonna hit things better than my size, so go ahead.
Sounds good. I
All
was
right.
gonna say your hands are usually pretty full anyway.
Komori, you would be so cool on the potion.
What, the speed potion?
Yeah. Like, imagine you. You're already kind of quick.
You know what? What the hell? Besides, might scare the shit out of everyone else if someone as big as I am comes running their way pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, that would scare me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I scare a lot of people.
I mean, to be fair, you have any person start running at you without armor on. It's kind of scary, you know? You're a monk or a librarian, and I don't want to deal with either. Or you're a weird magic user.
Well, it's fine. But yeah, I don't need a lot of things, so it's all good.
Well, yeah, but we're a party. I mean,
I
at least
mean,
now, I guess.
I get it. I've made do with what I've typically got, and I usually don't need a lot anyway, so. Makes things a bit easier. But if no one has any objections, or if no one specifically wants it, I'll take it. That's fine.
Please, take it. I have no use for it.
And I will take the potion of speed.
Perfect.
So, where do we want to hit first? I mean, I'd imagine Raven Rock would probably be the easiest, just given hill giants and fire giants compared to the rest of them.
Where are we around again? Right. Oh, yes. Obviously the I wasn't looking at it, okay?
I will also point out the dots are kind of the capitals, or the very large cities, like the main cities. So think like in our world, the dots are like the cities that have an airport, right? Like a main airport. There are a bunch of villages and other cities throughout the realm, so you may run into some of them, but those are like the big boys.
I mean, I'm certainly not really fit for traveling long distances. I don't have probably enough rations to last me very long. She did say weeks. I don't know about the rest of you. I'm not traveling around for weeks at a time in the middle of nowhere. It's not my typical hunt.
Maybe we should shoot back to a city, gather some supplies.
Zari, you know this area. I will let you know that there is a small village right here that's kind of like the last chance.
I mean, actually, when I was coming up here, there was a nice pit stop before we got to Tobias's tower. There's a village not too terribly far away.
It's called Al-Uven.
Can you spell that for me?
Yup. I'll do you one better.
Beautiful.
Thank you, DM.
You're welcome.
And then, do we maybe want to... I mean, it looks like there's kind of, like, two paths we could go. We could start working our way up towards Morgause and heading that way up before coming back down to Raven's Rock.
I mean,
Or we could go to Raven's Rock first.
I mean, it makes sense. Especially because
Besides,
we have a better idea. Besides, hill giants are stupid as all hell.
This is true. You're not wrong there.
I will butt in here. You're looking for artifacts, and the artifacts were given or stolen by these quote-unquote Uthgard barbarians. And so you're looking for a specific artifact for one of the giant lords. It doesn't necessarily mean there are giants there. However, there are giants throughout the land. So there may be giants there. Maybe there's some for trying to find them down. Maybe there's some just roaming and doing their thing. You're not sure, but I just want to clarify that you're more than likely to find... These are like tribes' places of worship, not a giant stronghold.
Okay. So, because, like, Ravasi's mindset is we go to the faraway places first, and then on our way back we hit Raven's Rock, because he's assuming that the end point is going back to the tower, is how he's thinking about it.
The end point, theoretically, is finding, your frost giant friend. who's kind of up here.
I mean,
Mm.
we are looking for our new friend. I'm forgetting his name. Did you?
Harshnag.
We are looking for Harshnag up there. I would. It might be nice to at least have one of the artifacts to show him that we, can do what we say we can. Beautiful. Thank you. That was very close to my spelling. What do you think, Nix?
I think she might be sleeping.
Oh, I don't go to sleep. You know this. We are both elves. What is wrong with you?
He throws you a wink.
Well, what's the quickest thing we can do? Just get some more experience for us, cause I think there's some growing pains you guys are gonna make me go through.
I think so too. So I guess that is the question, DM. Which one is closer from the little village?
So, if the village is here, we'll put a little boop. If the village is here, the closest one, they're kind of like
Equal distance.
this
No,
one's
that
a
one's
little
closer.
bit closer. And then theoretically, if you went here first and then you backtracked, it would be longer. So honestly, just looking at it from a walking feet standpoint, this one's in the tundra a bit, so it probably is pretty cold. Then this one's kind of back in the hills, and then you would probably want to walk on this side of the mountains, and then hit here and either find Harshnag and go here, or go here and find Harshnag. Either way, that would be kind of your shortest pathing.
Gotcha.
Sounds like the best way to do it. I presumed that we'd have to go. Oh.
Or you could,
Or-
honestly, you could go down to here, take a main road, and kind of try to cut to one of these large cities, and you could go up here and then work your way back down. That is an option too.
That is true. I also like the idea of doing a main road for a good leg of our journey, because that means safer generally, easier to travel generally.
It would definitely be a lot more days. This city right here is not actually where it looks like it is. There's like a little outpost out there, but it is actually it's called Kalturum. It is an underground Underdark city. And you know that so it's completely under these mountains, and you know there's probably passes through. However, as you said, it's going to be longer. You have to circumnavigate quite a bit. There is a road that goes through here, but it's kind of rough. The best way would be to go down here and to go back up here and then go up the river. That would be the safest way. It would take quite a few extra weeks. The shortest way would be to complete this mission would be to just go overland. But definitely the most dangerous.
Oh, I don't know if we necessarily have a few weeks of time to waste.
I mean, were we told, like, do this in a month or everyone die?
I mean, from what we can tell, I mean, lives are at stake, so.
Yeah, our lives. I certainly wouldn't want us trying to go so fast that we end up ass over tea kettle and killing ourselves.
I mean,
typically.
that's fair, but I mean, you've all seen what these giants can do. You see what happens when a town gets attacked by them. It's not like we're playing around with, barren wilderness with nobody in it.
Exactly.
Well, no, that's exactly the point too. Be prompt and timely with things. Is that.
I just mean to say we're not much good to the world dead, apparently.
Well, no, but can't exactly expect to find what you're looking for staying on safe paths, right? And the look that Zari gives you is she is convincing herself of that right now as well.
Ravasi does not look convinced either. Ugh. Maybe let's think about it and answer this question tomorrow when we're not half dead.
Yeah. That was the first time I've ever been knocked out before, like actively. That was scary.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Should just
get-
give you a look. Okay, cool.
You get used to it.
Pretty much.
I'm gonna prefer to not get to it.
Sometimes life just doesn't really give you a choice, you know?
Again, that also we can kind of agree on, which is not what I expected.
Are we being somewhat civil now? Are we past the angry and now doing the underhanded jabs, or are we past that too?
Do you want me to insult you to make you feel better?
No. I think that'll do the opposite effect that you're saying.
At this point, it's just the Aubrey Plaza stare.
Yeah. Whenever you're dead quiet, I assume it's just Komori, like, staring. Not quite, like, angry, but not quite just, like... It's just, like, you're trying to look into my soul, and I don't like it.
The epitome of resting bitch face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you settle down for the night around this campfire, kind of coming to rest, I assume you set up watches. I'm not a hour by hour DM unless you would like to have any conversations privately, like during a watch or during some stuff happening here. You are more than welcome to.
No, I think Komori is honestly good for right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ravasi's doing the I extended a gracious hand, and Komori hasn't extended one back, so it's her turn.
Okay, so with that, you all wake in the morning. It is an absolutely beautiful morning in the forest. There's a little bit of smoke or fog across the ground. And the trees are beautiful. The birds are chirping. You manage to get together a very delicious breakfast. And cast your morning spells.
Yeah, I was like, do you have my cast mage armor?
Oh, okay.
Ooh, interesting.
That's a fun portent.
That is a fun point.
Anyone?
Okay.
Sarah, did you have any fun dreams or vision that tells us an insight of where to go and what to do and yada yada yada?
Oh, no. You'll know when I have one. Don't worry. You'll know.
Okay. Okay.
It's not exactly the most fun experience in the world.
Interesting. Do I, DM, feel anything in my heart telling me like which way to go?
Nope. There's just like an indifference.
You're not being very useful right now.
I will say, for the sake of mechanics, you have all leveled up at this long rest. However, as a DM, I'm telling you, if you want to wait until the end of session to do your level up, that's fine, other than some minor rolls. So, unless you guys get aggressive for some reason. Okay.
I mean, personally, this isn't, I'm not having any visions, but the realist in me says, why double track a path when you don't have to?
Fair enough.
Food's expensive. So are supplies.
I'm just worried about, dying on the road.
Oh yeah, me too, don't worry. But hey, I mean, listen. Either we're going to die or we aren't. So,
This does not make me feel better. Zyra.
Listen, either you die or you don't. And she'll just give you like a shrug, like to her that's the most comforting notion that she's heard.
I mean, correctly speaking, that is accurate.
There's 100 ways for a situation to play out, but one of the few good things about a fight is there's really only two endings. You win or you don't.
Fair enough.
Well, let's go find and interact with some potentially violent and cynical beast folk.
Huh?
Zyra's purposely not making eye contact with Kamori in a very awkward manner.
I mean, hey, at this point, we deal with them. If they start attacking, then I ripped them to shreds.
Yeah,
If they can't give me the answers I want, then so be it.
what answer do you want?
I want to know who made us this way.
Us.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Just the frantic, Zyra, her notebook comes out, frantically writing.
I mean, we can talk about this on the road. If you want to wax philosophy or theology or whatever. I mean, all of our fates are predestined, so.
You like to wax theology?
I was being sarcastic.
Oh.
But if it makes you feel better, I am good at listening.
Zyra looks a little crestfallen now.
I said I was good at listening.
Yeah, but it's not as much fun if you can't actually bounce ideas off of one another,
Oh, but isn't listening part of? Never mind. I will give you my opinions if I have any. mean, I just
Ravasi, no idea what he signed up for.
he's very I'm very aware.
Sounds like they have a topic for the road.
Mhm.
Boy.
Oh boy.
Okay. So with that, you guys hit the road. Which way are you going?
I think we're going to the blue dot.
Okay. Heading all the way up there to Alvin, I think is how I pronounce that. So with that, you take off. There's no road. You are kind of just following the sun and doing your best to make it out of the forest. And after a couple of hours, you do find there is a kind of half road, half more hunter's trail that goes from the city here all the way to Ulvin. And you manage to grab it and kind of continue along the path. You travel, this is about you'd estimate 3-ish days journey to the city. And so you travel for a couple of hours. It's a good many hours of walking on the road. It's shaded, it's autumn. Some of the trees are starting to turn absolutely beautiful as you see a couple of them begin to shed their green for the summer and turn towards more autumnal colors. None are falling quite yet, but it's very beautiful. You see lots of animals along your way. Is there any conversations specifically that you would like to have on scene as you continue along the road?
And so here's the thing that you really have to consider when you're actually looking about the theology of different religions, right? Because our world is a colonized world and not one that arose originally, you do have influences from the other people who came onto Ilumelan afterwards and during those first years of colonization, and how that blended in with the pantheon first going on. And so that doesn't seem like a big thing, but then you start looking at, different deities, right? And you start looking at people like Magnus, right? Like, he's a really old deity. And people like to, be like, oh, god of death, grim and dim. No, but really, like, you start looking at the people that he came from and the way that they revere death is just so interesting.
You sound like my sister.
Is that a good thing?
He thinks for a moment. Yes. Also, my family comes from a different world.
Oh! Where do you guys come from?
I usually ditched those, classes. Oh, my tutors who taught us about family's history and such, I usually ditched those classes, so I don't remember.
Well, that's a shame. A good education should never be taken advantage of. And like, she straightens up her spine as she says that.
I mean, it's never mind. Don't worry about it. But no, I'd say that predestined fate is how it would work for me, at least. Tazira, you could respond to that before you write it down. It does feel a little bit like I'm a bug being examined or on an operating table, and it does feel a little weird. I won't lie.
Oh.
Not the bad way. Just if we're like in front of a whole bunch of people who get very angry if it feels like you slighted them, recommendation: don't do this.
Okay, well, nothing wrong with not responding verbally.
I more mean. You see him. He clearly is like trying to be helpful, but he doesn't know how to not kind of be an asshole about it, and he's really trying. I'm trying to say, like, have you ever been to like a party? A gala,
Yes, yeah, I've
a
been
ball.
before.
Yeah. Have people ever like given you mean looks because you were writing stuff? Instead of like conversing with them, or they seemed like slighted by you?
Okay, well, first of all, I attend galas with people who recognize the importance of writing things down and having records and order and balance and stuff like that.
Okay. Not everyone thinks that way. And I understand that you're not trying to slight me, but usually, I'm very used to people not... Usually when people don't immediately respond in a conversation, it's because they're trying to slight you or one-up you, so it is... I'm doing my best not to, assume that's what you're doing. I just wanted to make you that aware, because I don't want you accidentally pissing people off, because you are... nice.
She gives you a real genuine smile at that. Like,
He's doing his best, guy.
well, okay, so when you say your soul is like predestined, we are saying predestined, right? Like that, obviously, yes, you do have the strings of fate and stuff that's pulling. Like, when you say you're like from a different world, is your soul predestined to go somewhere? Is that like tied into the family? Is that a pact? Is it a bloodline thing?
Kind of squeamish.
Are you gonna give me just a blanket yes? A blanket yes is okay. I'll find out more later, don't worry.
You really don't need to. You really don't need to. Those are family secrets.
No, I don't have to waste some of the time.
Those are family secrets. It's not important for anyone else.
Okay. Like, she starts halfway writing and then is going to look up. Well, if you say so, but fair enough. Good luck, I guess?
I don't need luck.
Well, we all need a little bit of luck occasionally.
Not in regards to this.
As the road begins to kind of open up a little bit, the kind of hunter's path opening it up, and you see that there's been like 2 wagon wheels that have been kind of going. The path was kind of not much more than that. So like 2 ruts that a wagon could pass through, obviously, because cities like this still need to get access to goods. And you see that it kind of opens up a little bit more and there's a bit more space. And after a bit, as this conversation kind of tapers off, you hear a bit of a noise up ahead. And it's hard to tell, but it sounds like there's some people arguing. And then, Tazira, you recognize a laugh. That's half laugh, half growl.
Oh. Like, recognize as in person or recognize the sound?
In person, I would say.
Oh! I will kind of pop my head forward to try and see who it is, or send Nippet forward.
Sure, yeah, Mippet takes off, and you kind of go into Mippet's vision for a second, probably grabbing onto Ravasi's shoulder, because he's like, we're right there, you guys were just talking.
Yep. It's not asking, hand out on the shoulder as her eyes wide out.
And Mippet takes off, and you see up ahead about 200, 300 feet, you see that there is a cart of goods, it looks like, and there's two people sitting in the front of the cart. And one of them is kind of holding a bow and arrow, like a crossbow, actually a little bit shakily, and aiming it at a very playful and hopping back and forth copper dragon.
Oh, okay, I know who this is. We're cool.
What?
I really don't question the whole when she says stuff, Komori. It's starting to work very nicely, actually.
Well, it's probably Zardag. Hey, Zardag! And I will just tilt my head back and shout out.
From Mippet's eyes, you watch as his head goes forward and his nose starts to sniff, and you just hear an excited roar ahead. It seems that he acknowledges, but he's not moving from where he is.
Pretty beautiful. I will claim my vision back and keep walking.
Okay. So, the rest of you continue walking these couple hundred feet, trying to keep up with Tazira, who's picked up the pace a little bit. And you see this vision before you. So there's a cart of people with goods in the back. One of them is kind of sitting with her arms crossed, tapping her foot on the front of the cart, trying to keep the horses calm. And the other is aiming this tiny looking crossbow at this very young adult dragon, who is kind of keeping an eye on them. And it's very much like a cat playing with a mouse. He has copper scales, and is breathing some smoke out of his nose. And as he does, the whole like area lights up in this fog cloud, and then his head peeks over it and he goes, Tazira!
How are you doing, my dear? How's it going?
Good! These people are fun to play with.
Are you playing with them or are you scaring them? And I'm gonna look over to the people in the cart.
The air blows away after a moment. It was just like his kind of fog coming through here. And they look like a little bit hardier than normal quote-unquote peasants. I don't know what else to call them. But like, you know, like the literal peasant farmer stat. They look a bit hardier than that. And one of them looks annoyed and the other looks like a little scared because he's like looking at his crossbow and he's looking up at the dragon and he's like, yeah, this shit ain't doing anything to this dragon. And then Zardag kind of looks back down. Are you scared? And one of them goes, no. And the other one goes, you're kind of scared.
Damn.
Well, up in the area.
Zardag kind of leans down. Oh, I was trying to get stuff for my horde. Do you have anything for my horde? And he like leans back to the people down at the cart, and one of them's like, no, of course we don't. We just have goods. Goods sound like something for my horde.
I'll tilt my head. And he's got a point.
We are just traders, okay? And this guy is now kind of like standing, he's trying to appease to both of you, and then he like scoffs a little bit, like, why am I trying to appease to this random group of strangers? We're just traders. It's just stuff from the, oh gosh, I can't even remember my own lore at the moment. I don't know what city name it is. The Yellow City. You know? Give me a brief second.
What was the copper dragon's name again?
Zardag.
Zardag. What kind of things do you like for your horse? Do you like weird trinkets? Do you like gold, silver? Do you like unique pieces? Do you like art pieces?
They said that they're coming from Retelling, which is the name of the city that's kind of on the lake. It's a very foresty type of city with a bunch of like tree houses and stuff. So Zardag goes, a little bit of everything. It doesn't really matter.
Do you like pretty pieces?
Yes.
He's kind of digging through his pack.
I like
You
pretty
like
things.
Pretty things.
And things that tell a story.
Story. The first thing he's gonna pull out is a small demon idol. It's very beautifully made. And it looks both pretty yet scary. That sort of like, this is finely crafted, but you're also kind of scary. And since dragons count as reptiles, the crystal eyes are currently glowing.
Sure, dragons do count as reptiles. Ooh, its eyes glow. That's cool. What's its story?
Well, this one my mother got from a trader who said he was from off-plane, and he claims that whenever evil is around, its eyes will glow. It turns out he was lying, though.
Oh.
It glows whenever there is a dragon around.
Oh, really? Oh, so
Yes.
you knew I was up here, huh?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take it.
Would you?
Are you giving it to me?
Do you do gifts or do you do favors?
Gifts.
Then yes, I'm giving it to you.
Okay.
He always has to shoot his shot, you know?
Yeah. He kind of, like, at this point, he walks past the cart, and as he does, his bulk kind of shoves it to the side a little bit, and both of the people there screech, and the horses are, like, almost losing their mind, and the woman jumps down and is, like, calming the horses a bit, as he comes to you and holds his claw out for this, effigy.
Yeah, he'll give it.
Wow. Glows for dragon eyes. That's a pretty cool story. And it's funny that he tricked you.
Yes, my mother, but yes.
Okay. Desire, it's good to see you. And he, like, puts his head, like, wraps his neck around you in kind of a weird hug.
It's good to see you too, Zardag. Do you have any new fun stories?
I do. I mean, I was trying to tell these guys here a story, but they didn't quite understand it. And he, like, glares at them a little.
Well, perhaps I'm a more receptive ear.
Maybe. And you can tell that the woman has calmed the horses now, and she's kind of, like, looking at you like you have grown 2 heads. And she just kind of squeaks out, "Is it normal to just talk to dragons?"
Oh, he's my friend!
Okay. And Zardag kind of goes, "These people are boring. I'm bored. I think I'm gonna go."
Have a good one, Zardag. Travel safe, my friend.
He puts his nose against your forehead and then just blows a huge puff of smoke all around you, putting you guys in a fog cloud, and then he starts cackling as he flies away. Smoke bombed you.
Wow.
Interesting, friend you've got there.
Oh, he's nice.
He's not nice. He almost scared the hell out of our horses.
Well, yeah, he's around a lot of other dragons who don't realize how scary dragons are. I'm sorry about that.
They kind of eye you a little bit. Interesting. Well, we're going to continue on our way past you, towards Ariellen. But thanks, I guess.
Absolutely. Travel safe and keep an eye out for giants. We've heard they've been restless as of late.
Yeah, there's been rumors of hill giants around Ulvin. So be careful.
Thank you for the information.
They both nod. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everybody can make this.
Sure, boss.
Jesus Christ. 30? I guess?
Yeah, okay. So there's a 30 and a bajillion others. A 20 from Nyx, a 10 from Ravasi. Komori, do you want to make one too?
Sure, why not? Even though it's like I've just been sort of like keeping out of sight once I know there's other people there who are just like.
Yeah, Komori kind of fades into the background a little bit with her hood up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Big NPC energy.
So Ravasi, these are travelers. They're definitely traveling through here, moving goods around, likely merchants. They seem fine. Komori and Nyx, you guys notice that it's a little odd that these just plain-ass merchants were kind of so chill with this very weird encounter. So either they see weird shit more often than they should on roads like these, or there's a little bit more to them. You're not quite sure. Tazira, you notice, on the woman's belt, you see kind of hidden way back in the back corner, a small little medallion that looks like a snake with wings.
Huh. I will tilt my head. And I will just, how far away is she?
They're kind of walking past you at this point, so the horses are going past you, a little skittish still. So, pretty close.
I'll just connect to her mind. Interesting Kawato pendant. Is that... Did I see it correctly?
She doesn't flinch when you connect to her mind. And just calmly, you hear her reply, "If you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't."
Interesting. Well.
And
Stay safe.
Obviously you don't. Stay safe as well. And they move out of earshot.
Complete.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, since the man does not notice any of this shit.
Nope.
None at all whatsoever. He's like, "Yep, that was just weird, but you know what? This is our life now. This is how I'm doing things." Ravasi just kind of mutters like, oh, I've never been so happy to hold on to all the weird shit my mother gives me.
After a couple of minutes of you guys kind of walking, Zardak actually circles back and he lands back on the ground and says, "Oh, you gave me a present. So I just saw something and I figured you'd want to know."
Yeah?
There's a weird old tower, like in a clearing a little bit over here, and there's some really loud crying coming from it. Like, I could hear it all the way up in the air. Really, really loud crying.
Weird old towers.
Yeah. I didn't want to go because, if somebody's crying, they don't want to tell me stories or listen to jokes, or I'll just make them cry more. So I'm gonna go back home, I think. I haven't seen Lucy in a bit. Okay, bye!
Bye, Zardak.
And he takes off.
I'm already side-eyeing Zyra, like, are we going to the weird old tower where the loud crying is, or are we continuing on the mission?
I mean, imagine the books.
Maury, Nick, got opinions here?
I'm not really
I mean,
want to
I'm-
waste my time.
I'm guessing you really want to check this out, Zyra?
We could just take a look. A glance, maybe.
Yeah, or get our heads chopped off.
I mean, we did just talk to a small dragon, young dragon, and didn't die, so, like,
We had connections with it.
you know, you raised an important point. I'm gonna look back at Zyra. Is she doing the wet cat eyes of like,
Oh, yeah.
"Please."
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, it's not the full effect because her mask, like, blocks her eyebrows.
I'm assuming Nippet's also doing it.
Oh, 110%. And it's like, she's like wrapped around Tazira's neck, usually kind of chilling there. But this time she's on top of Tazira's head with her little paws over and is also begging.
Oh no.
Because I think it's funny. Yeah, Rivasi's breaking. Ugh. As long as it doesn't take us all day.
Fantastic. We will not take all day.
This is totally gonna take all day.
Oh, it's actually.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's absolutely going to take all day. That's why I didn't say 2 days.
Damn.
As you split off the road to the right a little bit, to the east specifically, and you are continuing through the trees into kind of a clearing, and you spot a crumbling tower atop a little bit of a hill. The trees are growing a little bit sparser in this area, a couple 100 feet away. Parts of its conical roof and outer shell have kind of fallen inwards, leaving gaping holes above which 4 hawks are circling. A large boulder seems to block the tower's ground floor entrance, and a horrible noise is coming from within that you hear first before you see this tower. A deep guttural dirge pours from it, from the lips of something huge and awful. And remind me, does anyone speak giant?
Well, DM, because of the level up, I picked tongue as a spell, so could I? That?
I also speak giant.
Okay.
As do I.
So, Nyx and Komori, you recognize this this dirge as something in giant. And Ravasi, as you kind of cast tongues a little bit on yourself so that you can understand what is happening, especially being a bard. You want to hear this dirge in its full entirety.
Oh yeah.
You recognize that it is a dirge in giant. And with that, I think we are going to end our session. Yes. So, next week, first order of business, we will be delayed a week, both streaming as well as posting, because I'm out of town for a work event next week, unfortunately. But the following week, so the following Wednesday, which I believe is the 27th, or if you're listening on YouTube later, this will be up on the 30th, will be our following session. So come hang out with us for that as we see what is in this tower, and the group continues exploring the north of Ilumelan as they gather some of these giant artifacts. So thank you to all my amazing players. If you're with us on Twitch, stick around. We'll chat for a little bit after. If you are with us on YouTube, let us know what your favorite part was down below. What you've been enjoying about the character banter or the first boss fight, guys. And leave a like and subscribe, and we will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.